I know, 0 people. Hey, everyone. Hey. That's so funny. I'll let some people get in here, and then I'll let everybody know what's going on. Ah. All right, this is now working. Hey, everyone. Hello from England. Hello, Xanderbander. What's up, George? Rip sloppy Joe buns. That's so funny. Be balling big time. Thanks, buddy. Hello, everyone. There we go. Everybody's coming in. Sweet. All right. Yeah, this live stream. So I'll wait until a few more people get in here, and then I'll just explain what happened. But it's good to see everybody so far. Oh, man, this is awesome. Hello, 194 people. All right. How do I end this? Live. Delete. This was very confusing for me, so upcoming. Which one am I live on? Okay, yeah, I'm live on that one. Delete forever. Okay. Hello. All right, everyone. I just want to see if my mods are in the chat. Max, Ben, and Dylan, those are my brothers, are going to be moderating. So if anybody's spamming things about Yeti, chances are you're going to be, I don't know, just kind of silenced, because I'll address that now. I haven't encountered any Yetis in the woods. But hey, let's start this thing. It's good to see everybody. 400,000 subscribers. That's absolutely wild. I'm so pumped to be at this point. And I want to thank everybody that's like subbed over the last, God, it's been a year and a half since I was at 1,000 subs. So like, Jesus, it's been a real ride. So I just want to thank everybody for joining. All you guys that have joined since the last 200,000 subs. Thank you. I'm glad everybody's into the content. I can't be more grateful than I am to have people that are into it. You know, I'm because of you guys, I'm able to like live my dream and be a full-time creator in something that I absolutely love. And that's being an outdoorsman and adventurer and filmmaker. So I just want to thank absolutely every one of you guys. And so we can start with some questions. And my brothers who are the mods are going to highlight your guys' comments and repost them in order for me to be able to read them a little easier, because it's kind of hard to sift through all of this stuff. Anyways, the Ontario camping couple, Xander, turkey and bear season are about to start. Do you have any plans on making any more hunting videos? And congratulations on 400K. Thank you. So I actually bought a turkey tag for this upcoming season. I do plan to go turkey hunting with my friend Tosh. Tosh Self-Propelled. Me and him have been talking about it. It's pretty much confirmed. Tosh, if you're in here, can't wait. I actually have my hunting license and my PAL, which is your possessions acquisition license here in Ontario, for owning guns. And I actually finally picked up 2 guns for my very first time after having my license for 12 years. And I actually went out and shot them the other day on some Crown land. I filmed it all, and I actually had an absolute blast. But I might pose a question about whether or not you guys want to see that type of content in the future. I obviously want to keep my content very family-friendly, fun, easygoing, and lighthearted. And I'm not sure if shooting guns is part of that or is hunting. But there are 2 things that I do enjoy and that I want to pursue more of. And maybe that's something for another channel. But yes, I do plan to go turkey hunting this year. Do you prefer camping during winter or summer, and why? Honestly, a bit of both. As winter rolled around, I was super excited for the winter camping, but now that winter's coming to an end, I just can't wait to get on the water. I love the silence of winter. I love the no bears, the no bugs. You can keep your food outside. It's so peaceful and absolutely gorgeous. The cold can be bitter, and that can be a lot, but same for summer. The bugs can be absolutely horrendous. The heat can be horrendous. The humidity can be horrendous. So there's negatives to both, but there's beauty in all seasons. And I used to have a preference for spring and summer over winter, but now I just love all seasons and I find beauty in all of them. Is Gustavo with you? Gustavo? Who's that? Oh, my camera guy. Yeah, he's yeah, I forget about him all the time. He's probably still hiking back from the last trip. I just finished a trip on Thursday, so he should yeah, I don't know. He'll be back eventually. Would you ever consider hunting in Hawaii? Are you talking about Fowler being there with Ovens? That was pretty cool. Absolutely. I've been to Hawaii with my brothers and my family when I was younger, and it's an absolutely spectacular place. I would love to go back. What trips do you have planned next? Me and John have a trip planned for the beginning of John from Lost Lakes. We have a 5-day trip planned for the beginning of, when the ice melts. That's about it. I have some bigger ones conceptualized, but I'm a pretty last minute dude. I'll admit. That's going to change. My 2022 resolution is to be more prepared, Hey, Xander, have you got any more rain camping adventures planned? So I went out on Thursday and Friday night of this week, so I went out on Monday and Tuesday of this week, got that video out. Then I want to turn around and get out for Thursday, Friday for a rain camping video. But the rain was really heavy on Wednesday, so I just missed it. That video, I almost finished editing today. It has some great moments, and I can't wait to post it. Just a little speckle of rain, so it's not a full-blown rain one, but yeah, so I'm going to get out in some rain soon. Phil says, Xander, have you ever thought about traveling to different countries for camping? Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I went down to Florida this past February, and I did stuff with Clay Hayes, and that was an absolute dream. What an amazing trip. I love being in different environments with people who know the land, doing an activity that I've never tried before. That is my absolute dream, is to be invited or set up a trip where I go to other places with experienced people, learn the land, learn a new skill, learn a new lesson, and film and document it. And that hunting thing that I did with Clay was an absolute dream. And I would love to do more stuff like that in the future. And I hope you guys enjoy that. I know it's not my typical content, and I'm probably and I'm going to stick to what I do and what you guys love, but there's going to be part of the channel that is going to be mixed up stuff, like, slight variations on what I do. It's all going to be outdoor centered, but it's all going to have like sprinkles of humor and cooking and the Xander Budnick flavor that gives this channel its bread and butter. But I always want to be pursuing more, and yeah, that's really it. So yes, I would love to go camping in different countries. Mikey says, huge fan. What is your go-to snack during these trips? Also, have there been any emergency situations during your trip? My go-to snack, any kind of bar. I think I've overdone Cliff bars, but those Be Kind bars, or those Kind bars, pretty good. Those Go Macro bars are really good. What else? The Macro bars are really good. Lots of bars. Jerky. I have a dehydrator, which I've been pumping out. I got to get that going again for summer camping, but the dehydrator and beef jerky is always clutch. In emergency situations, no, thank goodness. I feel like emergencies can come in anyways, but I feel like I've seen a lot of dangerous things, and I've heard of a lot of dangerous things that happen with axes. And yeah, I think axe safety it's a big one. So that's my biggest fear when it comes to safety. Is Bain says, no, fortunately I haven't had any serious accidents out in the woods. Bain says, will you ever do cliff camping, or is height not really your thing? Oh, absolutely. I'd love to do cliff camping. So me and my brothers, we rock climb, and we're not good enough to do portal edge stuff or big walls or anything like that, but we do, pretty basic lead climbing. I haven't done much lead in a while, but we've been climbing again recently after the gyms have been open. Yes, I would love to do wall climbing or wall camping and portal edging like they do on the Real Rock series. And if you guys haven't ever seen Real Rock or any of those rock climbing documentaries, you got to go check them out. Some of those things have inspired me to van camp and do any type of camping, just adventure series. Real Rock, if you haven't seen the Real Rock series, you got to go check them out. Absolutely the most inspiring things ever. Hey, Xander, what part of Ontario do you live and camp in? So I live in Toronto, Ontario, so right in the heart of the city, the biggest city in Canada, and I commute 3 to 5 or 6 hours north to go camping in various Crownland locations and various parks in south central Ontario. I go as far north as the St. Raphael, which I did last year with John from Lost Lakes, and all over Ontario. If I'm doing like a daily thing, it's usually 3 to 4 hours north of Toronto on Crown Land. That's kind of my go-to. Xander, just recently found your channel and you've made me want to go camping more than I have ever before. Love your channel. Thanks, man. That's what I want to hear. I love hearing that people have been inspired by my content to go out, or anybody's content, to go out and experience the outdoors. When I was younger, I was completely afraid of being alone in the outdoors. I was afraid of bears and people and wolves and all that stuff. And actually, this is a question that I always get addressed. So I always get asked, so I'm going to address it, is, Xander, what about bears? What about wolves? And if you look at the statistics, black bears, we don't have grizzlies. There are polar bears way north in Ontario, but like that's Hudson's Bay, so not even remotely close to where I go camping, or most people do. We only have black bears and wolves here in Ontario. And if you look at the statistics, black bears have only killed something like 69 people in all of North America since the year 1900. So that's like 1 every 2 years in all of North America. It's very rare. And the encounters with black bears are either, and the dangerous encounters with black bears are usually on trails when you're like passing by a mother and its babies, or perhaps at parks like Algonquin, where where with your food and stuff, where the bears just want to get into your food and they're more conditioned to be around humans. When I'm out in the backcountry, bears, when they hear you, they're scared. They go running. They're like, they catch a wind of you, they're out, they're gone. Same with wolves. Wolves have only killed something like 9 to 12 people in all of North America since the year 1900. Man-eaters or man-killers have been like more or less, they've been killed. They've been wiped out. Any animal that is, made contact with humans have been hunted down and eradicated. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I see it. That's how how I've researched it, and that's what I know. So no, I'm not scared of bears or wolves. There's been a few times where I'm like, I hear wolves in the distance, I'm like, but then I think, oh, they've only hurt 9 people in all of North America since, it's like so unlikely. So no. And by the way, sorry everyone if I can't get to your content. If I can't get to your questions, there's a lot going on in the chat. So somebody says, will you ever make a gear review vid? Perhaps. I know a lot of people request me to do a gear breakdown video and like what I pack for a trip, and I do plan to do that. The big reason why I haven't ever done that is because I'm never really fully satisfied with what I bring. And I guess it doesn't matter. I guess I could just show you how I do it, and you guys can critique me whether or not that's a way you want to do it. So definitely should do something like that. Hey, Xander, have you ever thought about taking subscribers with you on a camping trip? Yes, I have thought about that. A few people have mentioned that. I think that'd be totally fun. I don't know how to go about it. Would I supply the gear? Probably. It depends. Maybe I do some sort of special and take somebody camping. I haven't thought too much about it. I don't know how it would work. And yeah, I think that'd be cool though, Okay, let's see how we can do this. What YouTubers are you subscribed to? Oh, geez, you can go to my channel and you can go to it's on one of the tabs on my channel, and you can go see everybody that I subscribed to. I've been on YouTube since 2007. Yeah, 2007. I've had a YouTube account. This account used to be called Zoolander X8. So if you sometimes if you type in my name and like Social Blade or whatever, like it'll appear as Zoolander X8. But you can go to my YouTube channel and you can go to who I'm subscribed to, and you can see a list of them. I think I'm subscribed to like something like 600 people, and I watch everything from Peter McKinnon to Wendover Productions and Fraser Kane and Astrum, or who else? Mark Rober. Like Mr. Beast is amazing too, and I take inspiration from all these different YouTubers as well, and that's why I think that, and then I apply that to the camping niche, and that's how I think maybe my content's a little bit different than some. I don't know. That's at least where I get inspiration from, is through, the broader YouTube, and then I try to apply it to like the camping outdoor scene. Perhaps, at least that's how I see it. Aiden Copeland says, and others, will you ever compete in alone? Okay, so I think about it, and I've been asked, and I did a survival course with Kylan Melrone from season 7 of Alone back last summer, and she did exceptionally well on that show. And I spent 7 or 8 days with her in the woods doing a like alone style challenge with no food, and I ended up doing a video, like a 3-day no food challenge based on that. And I would never do alone for the the money would be nice, but I would never do it for the money or the like the attention. It would be for the challenge, and that's something like I really got from Kai. It was just like how life changing in a positive way that experience was. So I think about it, but in all honesty, I don't think I know enough. I think that I would want to know more before going on a show like that, and that's where the hunting aspect of this my journey, or my that's where hunting kind of comes in. I would love to learn how to use a bow. I would love to learn how to take harvest game from the woods, and how to smoke it, and how to deal with it. And I think that's something I want to do for like in general. I think it'd be a really useful skill to have. So would I ever compete on alone? Maybe. I'm in no rush. I want to know more. Any tips on getting used to sleeping while solo camping? Just do it more. Sometimes I put in podcasts to relax myself, knowing that the woods aren't out to kill you. The further you go out, the safer you are, really. The closer you are to like human establishments, or the closer you're to humans, then you'll get those crazy people. Well, they don't really exist, but like in your head, like if you're close to civilization, there might be crazy people. Like if you go far enough out in the woods, you're the crazy person, right? Like you are the crazy person. So and the animals become more scared of you the further you are away from like popular locations, because the animals are less conditioned. How do you get comfortable sleeping solo? Yeah, do it more often. Like my first solo video, I was nervous at night for sure. Every little noise, like a little crack, it's like bear. Oh, and then you realize like a bear would make a lot more noise than you'd think. It's heavy, or at least that's what I perceive. And the more you do it, the safer you feel. And you don't really hear stories about people getting attacked in the middle of the night or anything, really. If you heard it more, then I would be more afraid. Xander, with what do you film the time lapses of the stars in the night? Like in your last video, I use my Sony A7 III, and I've been using more of my 24 millimeter 1.4 f1.4 lens to have like a really big aperture to be able to capture more light to do those time lapses. That I'll admit, that last time lapse that I did was like absolutely, it was by far the best one I've ever done. I did another time lapse 2 nights ago, and it's a little bit blurrier. It's still nice. It's a little bit blurrier, but that one I did on my last video, it's so sharp. If you go and watch that video again, and you look at the horizon, right where like the lights from that city or from that town or whatever it is, way off in the distance, you can see like almost these like this. I'm thinking it's like a Starlink kind of array of satellites coming up, because it looks like almost like a Gatling gun shooting into the sky. I'm not sure if you can see it on the YouTube. I don't know how to point it out. Maybe I can like link the timestamp in it. But if you go watch, at one point there's like, it looks like a stream of satellites coming up from, like the V crescents in the treetops. So go check that out. Let me know what you think that is, or if I'm, going crazy. All right. Theo Farcast, thoughts on ultralight backpacks. What is your preference regarding backpacks? I'm using Gregory or Osprey backpacks right now. I don't do too much research in the gear. I'm quite guilty of that. I tend to go just buy gear and like it or not. Sometimes I'll buy something like I did with my sleeping pad, which I'm going to return because it was absolutely not great. I ended up buying the Xtherm. I know that, sorry, that's not what you're asking. Backpacks. I don't have a preference. I'm using Gregory ones. I find I kind of like them. They sell them at my local mech. So I'm open to suggestions, in all honesty. And I'm definitely not an ultralight backpacker. I tend to bring way too much gear all the time. Connor asks, would you travel to North Saskatchewan to video the Northern Lights? Oh man, dude, I really wanted to capture the Northern Lights this year. Me and my brother Dylan, we went on that canoe trip, or no, we went on that hot tenting trip where I lost his fish, and we planned that around seeing the Northern Lights because there was a really high KP rating, which is like a solar storm rating, and so the higher the KP is, the more likely it is that you are to see it. And we had this whole thing lined up, but it turns out that I had totally missed the date. I was reading the wrong date. It was the date for a week later when it was going to rain or snow or something. So it'd be cloud cover. Anyways, I messed it up. We couldn't see it. But yes, I would love to go see the Northern Lights. That sounds like an awesome idea in Northern Saskatchewan. That'd be such a cool thing to do. Live in TO? Yes, I live in TO. Why live in TO? Well, you know, I like people and I like a lot of the things that the city has. I've been living here for 8 or 9 years now. My rent is great at the moment. Housing prices and everything are kind of crazy. I do want to move out eventually. It's a good question. I like being around people as much as I love being alone and in the woods. I do like being around people too. So that's kind of why I live in a nice neighborhood. It's quiet here. I have a lot of parks, a lot of space to move around. There's a lot of things that I also enjoy. I'll probably move out of the city eventually for sure. Where do you buy most of your gear from? I buy a lot of gear from Mech. And as I'm like Mech Cabela's, Mech is like the equivalent of REI in the USA. That's just like our local outdoor camping place. It's like a chain. Also Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, lots of other things. Mavs TTHI asks, Xander, where is Gustavo? Will he make another appearance? Gustavo is quite a shy individual. Currently, I don't know. That guy, he's slacking. I left him out after the last video finished. I kind of just I don't know, told him to walk back, and he's getting better. I think he knows the route, but he's yeah, he should be back any minute now or any day. Will he make another appearance? I don't know. I don't really like him very much, so I don't know if he gets too much attention. You know, it's like if I get him on camera again, you guys are just not gonna like me anymore. You know what I mean? Are you proud of your music videos? Are you proud of your music videos? Oh, geez. Nah. Xander, any brand of clothes you personally suggest for camping? Also, what type of spare clothing should you take on a camping trip? Any brand of clothes you personally suggest? If you can afford it, merino wool, like base layers, I've really been enjoying. Any brands? What am I wearing? I don't know. I just like I'm not stuck to any brands, and I don't want to identify with any brands either, in all honesty. So no, what type of spare clothing should you take on a camping trip? I'm going less and less. I like to bring like an extra pair of warm bottoms, like some like thermals or like some sweatpants to put on at night, extra pair of socks, an extra shirt like this one. It's just like a long sleeve. This is cotton, but like whatever. And then an extra sweater. You know, take when you go on your trip, just bring like an extra pair of clothing, maybe an extra warm thing or two. And then as you go more in the woods, you probably will end up just like ditching stuff on your next trip. And then you'll just get a soaker one day and you're like, oh, I kind of wish I brought some more clothes. Here we go. Someone asks, what are the laws in camping in Ontario? Can you just camp anywhere? So here in Ontario and in a lot of Canada, we have Crown land, and Crown land is basically it's general use land for things like hunting, camping, fishing in the fishing seasons, obviously hunting in hunting seasons, and different types of rec activities. Crown land is a lot harder to get to than private lands or park lands and stuff. They have worse access. Usually you have to access them by trails or just bushwhacking. But once you get to those lands, you can do a lot of things like the type of camping I do, such as, cutting down standing dead trees and making your own campsites and, out there to have fun and play. You can actually spend up to 21 days in the same spot on Crown land. So you can build a little structure and then disassemble. As far as I know, I'm not sure about the structure thing. Also, we have a lot of parks here, and on the parks you can camp in the wintertime. In the summer you camp on the campsites, but in the wintertime they want you to camp not on the campsites to disperse the use of the land. So if you go to any kind of camp, if you go to any kind of park in the winter, you camp on non-campsites generally. Hey Xander, love your content. What is the best camping style for beginners to get into camping? Car camping is pretty easy, man. It's, just if you have the size, if you have a car, regular backpacking is pretty easy. Renting a canoe and just doing a nice simple canoe route, that's also pretty easy. You can go to an outfitter. You can camp in your backyard. Tarp camping is pretty fun because the tarp is really cheap. Like a tarp, a sleeping bag, and a corrugated sleeping mat. You can do a lot with that. Tents will set you back more. Tents will honestly make you feel a lot more comfortable camping. You sleep under a tarp, kind of like it feels, you feel exposed, and when you're in a tent, you kind of feel cocoon. Tarp camping will get you a little bit more hardy, I guess, give you a little bit more grit. I don't know. Honestly, there's no wrong type of camping, and you should try them all. And you should just start. If you ever have any like desire to go camping, just do it. Don't even think about it. Just go. You'll probably have a bad night's sleep the first time. I did. You just do it again and again and again, and then you're like, oh shoot, this is why I stay out here, because it's beautiful. Waking up, seeing the sunrise, having a fire, being surrounded by nature, smelling the air, hearing the sounds. Oh God, it's so therapeutic. It can be scary. It can be a scary thing though, but you do it enough, you realize there's nothing to be scared of. How far out do you have to go to reach good/new Crown land? How far out? I go like 3+ hours to go to Crown land from Toronto, and that's like, the minimum. And then, so if you're looking for Crown land, use the Crown land use policy atlas, and then cross-reference the locations that are Crown land cross-reference that with Google Earth to find access points, roads, parking, trails, and then you have to go scout. Like after my last trip, I spent the whole morning and I also use the iHunter app because that shows Crown land locations. I use the iHunter app to go scout out new areas, do parking, new access points, trying to find a new place for me to go. And you got to put in the work. I only started discovering, with the help of my brother Max, we only started Crown land camping like last year. It took a minute, but like you can do it and it's worth it. What's your go-to camera for filming? I use my A7 III with the 24-105 f4. Just use that all the time. I don't even bother with GoPros and everything else anymore because I do sometimes if I'm doing rapids, but it's just so reliable and the quality is so crisp, and it works down to like -25, no problem with the batteries. So it's, everything else just doesn't work at like 0. So it's a given. Bon Pitcher, I always screw up your name. Good to see you, man. Hey Xander, do you plan a scenario in your head before doing a video? Sometimes. I do a lot of improvising. I have a food that I want to eat. I have an area I want to go to, and maybe I want to. Honestly, it's a lot of improvising. A lot of these skits that I do, it's like in the moment. It's very much in the moment. Yeah. So, no. I let it play out. Sometimes I want to go like better, and then it kind of all falls apart. So be it. Hey man, your content rocks. What do you read? What do I read? What am I reading right now? Save the Cat. This is a book on storytelling for that's meant for like screenwriting, but it's also this talks about storytelling. It's pretty cool. You know, I want to be a better storyteller. Edible plants. I was reading this all last summer. I like to bring this out when I go camping because it's really fun to identify things and it helps you learn quicker. Also, mushroom books. This book is hilarious. If you can see that, how do you? Is that backwards for everyone? I can't really tell. All that the rain promises and more. It's really funny. It's a mushrooming book. I don't know if it's not meant for like Eastern Ontario where I live or like Eastern Canada, but it's really interesting. Things like that. My favorite books, if I were to recommend a book, probably Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. I love that one. I also picked up this one. I'm going to use this one this year. Kevin Callan's Ontario Lost Canoe Routes. I don't know if that's backwards for everyone, but what else have we got? Hey Xander, would you ever try spearfishing if given the chance? Sure, man. That sounds amazing. I would love to do anything in the ocean. Xander, when did you start making videos and what was your journey to become a YouTuber? So I fell in love with, well, I've always been into photography and videography. I don't know exactly when I started taking pictures, but I was always into it. In high school, I was in a class called Comtech where we made videos for the student announcements and we do like the intro skit and stuff. And that's what kind of got me into really loving that type of thing. I actually went to university with the intention to do more hands-on media stuff, but I ended up more on the theoretical side of things at the University of Western. And then I always filmed and took photos of all the trips I've been on, but I was always quite afraid to post. I did do the video of the Mississinapi back in like 2009, and that was my first camping canoeing video. And then over the last 6-7 years, I've been trying different things to create different types of video content. A lot of failures, but a lot of lessons learned. So if you're ever interested in creating content, just do it. You know, like it might take a while, like it did for me, to figure out, you know, how to, you know, use a camera, take the shots, tell a story, use the editing software, post, create thumbnails, like all those things, you know, and you're probably going to be not very good at first, but you just keep doing it. You learn the little lessons, you put in the time and it'll pay off, you know? And for me, what happened was I did a little bit a few years ago. It didn't work, you know, and then I continued with my life, but all those lessons, like my passion and my desire to still be a YouTuber or a content creator was always there. And then when I had a little bit more time, I made another video or another scenario came up where I could make a video, like going on another trip. I did one and I learned a little bit more and I applied what I had learned from the last trip to this thing. And then eventually kind of all fell into place. In such a wonderful way. And I think that can happen to anybody as long as you give it enough time. You're willing to be open to learning and criticism and putting yourself out there. You know, you're not going to be great at first, or you are, but chances are you're not. Have you ever considered visiting the Adirondacks in upstate New York? Oh, that's a funny question. So actually that relates to the videos from my previous, like when I used to, but some of the older videos. So I did make an Adirondacks video with my brothers from 2018. Anyways, like that's one of the lessons I learned that I now apply to my content now. I overproduced it. So we did this filming of us hiking the Adirondack high peaks. It was like a 3-day camping trip, maybe a 4-day camping trip. It was great. But like the way I edited the video, it was like reminiscent of like a vloggy 2018 camping trip or like vlog style. I don't know. It was really goofy. I'm pretty embarrassed of it. So it's taken down. I mean, I could maybe put that back up if you guys want to watch it for a little bit, and then I'm going to take it back down. But yeah, no, I've done the Adirondacks. I want to go back. I would love to do those high peaks, like in like a one go ultra run once I get better at running again. That's wishful thinking. Have you ever thought about bike packing? That's a good question, especially Dylan, my little brother, highlighted that because Dylan, he's actually into bike packing. I was talking to him the other day, and he asked me to go on a bike packing trip with him, and he's into bike packing himself. So I'm trying to get Dylan to make content on bike packing. Dylan's trying to get me to come bike packing with him. So it's inevitable that we're going to make a bike packing video. And, chances are when I do that, I'm going to get hooked. But like, I got a lot of things on the go. So it's like, I don't know how many. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Bottom line. Do you play any survival games / Sims? No, I don't play any more video games. I used to be kind of addicted to them. I played a lot of video games, and I've just spent too much time doing that and not doing things that made me happy in the long run. So I try to just stay away from them. What's my favorite song right now? I don't know if I have a favorite song, but I did go back and start listening to Nujabes recently. I used to listen to them all the time back in the day. I started throwing on the instrumental version when I've been at the gym recently. Let's see. Have you ever been to Northern Michigan for a camping trip? No, I have not, but I would love to go. Scariest moment in the woods, probably when I encountered that moose on that river trip where I just kind of came around the corner. There was the moose and the mom, or like the moose calf and the mama was just like yelling at me in the woods, and the baby moose was like fresh, stuck on the side bank, fresh out of the womb, just like a newborn in like the literal sense. Like it was probably that day or the day before or something like that. And the mom was just making this noise at me. It was really scary. I couldn't back up either because there was this like log jam, and I'm obsessed with filming things. So I didn't really paddle. I was just like filming. That's what's going to be the end of me. Knock on wood, just kidding. Do you do any camping in BC? No, I don't. No, I would love to though. Absolutely. Does shooting vlogs make the experience fake, or is it fine? I want to do vlogging as well when traveling. I've always had a passion for filming and a kind of an obsession with documenting these types of things. I've always loved taking photographs and telling a story that way, or videoing it and capturing the moments and trying to create a story afterwards, and being able to retell it and relive it. I've always enjoyed doing that. For me, it's an added experience within the experience. I get to enjoy the experience in the moment. I get to try to capture that moment and capture the beauty of that moment. And then I also get to take it home, relive it, create a piece, and then I get to share that with people to enjoy. So for me, it's I couldn't imagine not doing it. It's the best. That being said, do I think it takes away from the experience of being solo in the woods? A little bit, because when I'm talking to the camera or with the camera, I do feel like I have an audience with me. I do feel like I have people with me. So I'm definitely a lot less up in my head, and I feel like I'm talking to people or with people. And I think it would be a lot different of an experience, maybe doing a long solo without having the camera there. What other YouTubers do you watch or get inspiration from? I kind of addressed that before. Peter McKinnon, Maddie Hapoja, Lost Lakes. I love Lost Lakes. John's the man. All these other camping YouTubers as well. They do some really cool stuff. God, there's so many. Go check out who I'm subscribed to on my channel. It's open to everybody to see. Is YouTube a full-time job? New to the channel. Yes, YouTube is my full-time job since January of last year. I was at I was at 1,000 subs January of last year, and I decided to put out a video a week and commit full-time to it. And by February, I turned on AdSense, and I started making a little bit a day, just enough to okay, this is going to work if I just keep doing it. And then it just kind of took off, and I could not be happier. It was the best decision of my life. What is your preference at this point? Tarp or tent? Probably tarp. It's a lot more fun. My tarp packs down to probably about the size of like a small tent. So tents probably makes more sense in a lot of ways. I love being able to lay in my bed and watch the fire and see the outside and wake up and be outside. Sometimes it's a little harder to go to sleep because I'm quite exposed. And just this last trip, I put up like a little wall on one side, even though my head was, to the open. Just looking at the wall just gave me a little bit more comfort. So I know how like comfy it can be to be enclosed in a tent, but I like the tarp camping. It's like it adds creative element to it. I find it more fun. Tents make like a lot of sense though. They tents exist for a reason. Okay, what else? Have you considered camping in New Brunswick? There are some great coastal trails, and we aren't that far from Ontario. It would be great to see you camping in my home province. Yeah, man, that would be awesome. I think, like, I'll be honest, New Brunswick has not really been on my radar. So it's great to hear that there's some beautiful things out there. Yeah, I'm very open to that. Hey guys, like, shoot some stuff at me somehow, on Instagram or whatever. If you guys have ideas or trips that you think I should do or go experience, man, fire them at me. I would love to hear them, and I'm always looking for new ideas. You still train calisthenics? Kind of. I'm getting back into the gym. I've been going to the gym for the last like 3 weeks, pretty consistently. And yeah, mostly body weight training stuff. I started doing handstands again, which used to be my passion, and yeah, working on that muscle up again. Xander, I'd love to see a collaboration with Ray Mears. You two seem to have the same interest in calm videos and calm vibes. Oh, this guy. Yes. Oh man, I would love to do a video with him. That would be absolutely incredible. Let him know I'm interested. How do you pack your rucksack? It's like the TARDIS with everything you fit in the food and everything. It's like I'm not sure exactly. How do I pack it? Stuff it in. I have a 75-liter backpack, and I went for a one-nighter last two nights ago, and it was full. If I'm cooking using if I'm cooking and making like a home cooked meal, it requires a lot more than if I'm doing like a dehydrated meal. So, and if I'm bringing all my camera equipment too, I just like have to have a bigger backpack. I have a bigger backpack. So most people would want like a 65-liter to do the stuff I do, even like a 55-liter if you're ultralighting, or like some people do like a 50-liter. I'm more to like the 75-liter because I'm bringing extra stuff. I just have like more space to pack all my stuff. I'll do a video on it. Maybe I'll add like how I pack my bag at the beginning of one of my videos, just to satisfy some people and give you guys an idea. Would you do a 7-day challenge video? Only eat what you catch or harvest. Yes, I would love to. So I have a weird relationship. Everybody has a weird relationship with food. I have a weird relationship with food. I get hungry really easily. I got pretty lucky on those last videos with catching fish. 7 days is a long time, When I did that 7-day thing with Kylan, we had rations, and I finished those in like 3 days. And then, I was like fasting for like 2. I caught a little bit of fish. It was like a weird thing. I lost a lot of weight too. Maybe I'll just do it this summer. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Maybe I'll do like a 4-day, and then I'll boost it up to a 7-day. Yeah, I love the idea though. What are your other interests besides camping? Rock climbing. I'm really into shooting the bow right now. I just bought 2 new guns, which are quite fun. It always changes. Yeah, going to the gym, slacklining. What else? I used to do a little bit of jujitsu. That's something I would actually like to get back into. Hanging out with my brothers and rock climbing is kind of what I've been enjoying a lot of recently. Definitely. Come to Alaska. All right. Do you still prefer a trekking pole tent, or have you gone back to freestanding tent for rocky terrain? So the trekking pole tent is the only tent I own. and then I borrow my little brother. I borrow my brother's tent. I borrow Dylan's tent sometimes. So I need to get a freestanding tent, and the trekking pole tent. Z-Pack sent that out to me, and I think it's very cool and great. And I'm sure a freestanding tent's better in a lot of ways, especially because we live on the Canadian Shield, which is all rock, right? So it's harder to get tent pegs in. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a freestanding tent this year for sure. As much as I love the Z-Packs. Sandra, what trips and activities do you want to pursue internationally? Ooh, I would love to do a van trip. I'd love to do a Unimog build like an off-road, all-terrain, ultimate utility camper vehicle, and just travel the world. Long-term goal, man, have a sailboat and sail the world. That sounds so cool. Go to different locations, maybe spend some time like on remote islands or remote like forests and different countries and different continents. God, I would love to do that. Climbing mountains. Like, yeah, climbing mountains is a big one for me. I would love to do that. Would you get a dog to bring with you on a camping trip? Yes and no. I've never owned my own dog. I've never had my own dog. And I've heard that like if people have dogs on their channel, sometimes like it becomes about the dogs, and people like question, like, I don't know, people like critique the way you handle the dog and stuff. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. But yeah, I love animals and I love dogs and I love cats. Maybe I'll bring a cat out on a leash or something. First camping YouTuber with a cat or a parrot. I should get a parrot maybe. Let me know what kind of animal you guys think I should get down in the comments. Any chance you will put a blooper reel together? That sounds pretty fun. I have a hard time going back on old stuff. I just get bored of it. This is something that I learned from editing some van trip I did years and years ago. It was a really cool cross-country trip I did in my van. I spent a month and doing it. I ended up like spending way too much time editing this footage, and I let it sit for too long too. I let it sit for a year, and then I just had no heart in it. It took too long to edit, and I had no heart in it. And I find like if I go back and look for older stuff, I just have no like drive for it. So when I do videos now, I edit it as soon as I'm done the trip, and I try to get it out as quick as possible with as quick of a turnaround as possible, because I just become unattached and unconnected with it. So I really need to turn it around. That being said, there's a lot of, I don't know what kind of bloopers I would have, like me farting and then my camera falling over. My camera's fallen over like 20 times, which like I don't know if that's interesting. Maybe. Do you think Bigfoot could be out there somewhere? No, I don't really think so. I wish. I really wish. Yeah. What is your favorite tool or piece of equipment? My camera. Yeah, definitely my camera. Phone is pretty useful to look at your maps and stuff, take photos, and yeah, that's obviously a really helpful tool. But what do you really want to know? The axe is a really fun tool. I love bringing the axe out. It's the most dangerous tool, but it's like really satisfying to use. Yeah, maybe my axe. What else we got? You got a favorite meal for your trips? Bacon and eggs in the morning is just great, man. I love that. At night, I don't know. I like to switch it up. Has your view on hunting changed after your experience with clay? Will you start hunting now? I was always open to the idea of hunting. I got my hunting license back 12 years ago because I had a fascination with it. I love the idea of procuring meat from the forest and doing it, collecting food myself. I was always quite hesitant because I didn't know what the ethics of it were. Was it sustainable? Hurting animals? Was I hurting animals? Perhaps was I decreasing the population of animals? all these things, like I had all these questions for like the longest time. You know, the show Meat Eater really helped answer a lot of those things. That's a great show if anybody's wondering. Clay also has an amazing perspective on animals, and he lives that life, and he taught me a lot, and I learned so much from him. And a lot of that I tried to relay in that video about how the abundance of wildlife. There's an abundance of wildlife, and hunters love wildlife. They love hunting and they love wildlife. They want there to be a sustained population, a sustainable population of animals, a healthy population of animals, so they can hunt them. Something like, I'm not sure when it was, but in the past, turkeys in North America were hunted to a great degree. This is before there was conservation efforts around them. Turkeys were absolutely hunted, like overhunted, and there was such a sparse population of them. But then the conservationists came in and are like, okay, well, we love these turkeys. It's unfortunate that, you know, people are depleting them all because, you know, human nature in some ways, you know, people can be a little bit, can do a little bit too much. So the conservationists came in and made sure that, you know, there was more of a sustained population of turkeys. And now like turkeys are like in abundance. Same with whitetail. And pigs, wild pigs are absolutely like over the top in abundance, like to the point of them being invasive. And I don't know all of it, but the populations of wildlife are maintained and in a way where it's very sustainable. Hunting can be done in a way, not everybody, you know, I'm not arguing for the bad, like, you know, there's always bad people out there, but for the most part, people do it in a way where, you know, they don't want to injure the animal. They only take shots that are necessary, and they want to put the animal down as quickly and as ethically as possible. And that animal had, like, what's better, you know, that animal like outliving a life free of, you know, free in the woods, living in like a normal life, or like an animal in a cage waiting to be slaughtered for, you know, processing meat. I don't know, but, you know, I've definitely changed. Like I'm definitely really open to the idea of hunting. Am I going to make content around it? I would like to. I just don't know where that fits. You know, I would love to make hunting content, but I just don't know where that fits with what people want and how to portray it. You know, I think that whenever there's an animal, whenever animals are involved, it's a very sensitive subject, and I understand it. And you know, I want to understand it more, and I want to experience it, but I also want to do what's right. You know, you ever thought about going camping with your fourth brother? My fourth brother. I have three brothers, but if you're talking about Ben's come camping with me, and I actually have a trip planned with him. Well, I need to talk to him more about that, but yeah, I want to do another trip with him. He's always busy with work. I know you're in the chat because you posted that message. We reposting questions from everyone. Oh, I see. Yeah, sorry. I'm having my brothers, who are the moderators, like post me questions from people because it's easier to see. Otherwise, I'm like reading the same questions over and over. Do you have any plans to camp with all your brothers? Yes, I would love to. One of my a dream would be to do like Missinaibi from start to finish with my four brothers, because one of my biggest canoe trips, one of the things that kickstarted my YouTube thing, and like my passion for camping, was the Missinaibi River that I did with my brother Max and two of our friends. So going back and doing a bigger section of that with, you know, the four of us would be freaking cool. You know, have you done La Cloche Silhouette in Killarney? What is that? And so I guess no. I think I want to. That might be the trip I want to do with my little brother Ben. Ben, if you're listening, book some time off. From time to time, we see you writing your thoughts in a journal. Any chance you'd be publishing your thoughts, experiences, insights about life? I don't know, man. I think you're giving me too much credit. I'm not. Today I ate food. Food tastes good. Go sleep now. That's about the extent of my journal writing. Maybe I'm a bit more philosophical at times, but, you know, other times I'm just decompressing. Maybe. You know, Matthew McConaughey did it, and he made a book, and that was pretty cool. But Matthew McConaughey's a god, so I'm just a mere peasant. Are you going to replace Patches anytime soon? What are you talking about, man? Patches is indestructible. Yes, maybe. Yeah. Canoes are at a premium right now. Patches has got charm, and she's my girl. I don't know, man. It'd be hard to let her go. Oh, I mean, or I would add another vessel to the to the arsenal. Are you okay? What is your favorite weather for the adventure? Rain, snow, sun? I like it all, man. It's like really, I love it when a trip starts pretty heavy duty and kind of rough. You know, you get headwinds and rain and it's crappy. And then you get those like moments of, is reprieve the right word? Just like relief where you know, the sun comes up and it hits your skin and it's like, woo, okay. You know, like that's what I'm talking about. It's like I love being like really, really cold or really wet because like when you experience the other end of it, you know, being normal, it's like, oh, being normal is real good, you know? So yeah, no, I'm good for it all. I'm good for it all. But it's nice to have like it's always nice when there's a variety of things. Would you go vegan? I don't know. I don't think so. What is that thing you use to make a fire each time? That is called a ferrocerium rod or a ferro rod. And it just it has like magnesium and some other metals in it, and it just you scrape off little bits of it with a sharp edge and it showers things in sparks. Which uni did you want to and what course did you do? Which uni did I go to? I went to University of Western Ontario and I took media information and technoculture. I wanted to go to Ryerson for radio and television. I guess that was like kind of pre-YouTube. YouTube wasn't quite out yet. So yeah, I always wanted to do something in video. What is the best book on your bookshelf behind you? Oh, I said it was this book. If I were to recommend a book, any book that I like, it's this one, Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. Love that book. Read that book. Read it. Read it. Read it. Okay, good. What was your favorite camping trip? I like the long ones, man. Long ones come with great lessons and deep memories. You know, the Mississinapi trip with my brother Max. You know, I just remember, you know, sailing with our two canoes lashed together, like sailing for days and just enjoying the beautiful, you know, breeze at our backs and the sun in our hair, and yeah, it was wonderful. But yeah, long trips come with like bigger feelings to them. How's being sober going for you? Oh man, best decision of my life. Yeah, like I would not be here if I still drank or used, you know, even smoked. I would not be here. You know, all those things just like took away from me being in the moment. I would not be here. Not like physically, but like I would not be in this position in life. What video do you think was, and if anybody's, you know, questioning it, man, it's like, it's way better on the other end. Way better. What video did you think was going to be more popular that it ended up being? What video did you think was going to be more popular than it ended up being? My whitewater canoe video, the Mississinapi one, or the Madawaska one. The Madawaska one. It only has like 42,000 views, and it's beside two videos that have like hundreds of thousands of views, and then it's just like 42,000 views. Like by far my least popular video, and we're running like C4 rapids and like high water, and it's like intense and stuff. But that was like a lesson too. It's like people don't want that intensity. I guess they want to be relaxed and they want to be like more. It's easier for people to be. I don't. Yeah, it's like not a chill video. It's more high intensity. I think there's also a disconnect when it comes to whitewater canoeing. People don't really understand it because like until you experience it, like it was the same for me. I didn't understand how cool it was until I did it. And for me to watch other people do it, I was like, okay, so what? You know, and then now that I do it and me watching other people do it, it's like, oh wow, okay, I get it. That's pretty interesting actually and quite cool. But yeah, that video didn't do very well. What is your favorite video that, oh, you read that one. Do you prefer camping in summer or winter? I like them both. You know, I'm super pumped for summer. Like bug season's around the corner, not exactly looking forward to that. But yes, I like both seasons and there's benefits to both. I think people might gravitate to the winter camping videos more and those might do more popular because I think people think it's more intense, and it can be, but with the right gear you can get through it, and you know, you can find comfort in any season. I'd rather be freezing my butt off than swarmed by bugs. What's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning at home versus when out in the woods? I think it's the same for both. Food, coffee, washroom. It's about the same. I wake up earlier when I'm in the woods. I live in a basement apartment here in Toronto. It's a nicer one, but it's darker, so the mornings are a little bit slower here. So we've been going for an hour. Should I keep going or should we wrap this up? I'm just wondering what the vibe is. I'll answer some more questions if people are interested. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'll just answer a few more. What do you think sets you apart from other camping YouTubers? I think I condense my videos a little bit more. Perhaps. I think the videos I make might be more approachable. Maybe. Before I started making camping videos, I didn't watch many other camping YouTubers. If any. I wasn't really watching many people in the genre until I started doing it myself. Now I watch a lot of them, but yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. I think so. Maybe my editing or the quality of my filming or I hope people like me. Xander should run the lower credit. Okay. Any intense wildlife experiences? Yeah, it was the moose encounter. I answered that one. Do you prefer camping solo with a friend, brother, or in a group? I like them all. I love camping solo because it's easier to film. Way easier to film. There's nobody talking. I don't have to instruct people. If I'm filming with somebody else, they might start doing something and I can't capture that moment, and it's hard for me to tell the story. Or when there's more than one person, everybody's talking. It's really hard to capture the moment. But I love being around people. I love people. I love being alone. I do love being alone. I really do, because I love filming and I love camping and being alone and doing my thing. But I love people and making jokes and having fun. It's like you get a good feeling around you. So I like them all. People tend to prefer the solo camping videos. I get that because it's easier for me to connect with the camera and it's easier for me to create the content. I love camping with my brothers. I think my brothers and other YouTubers that I camp with are much better at understanding the video game than say somebody who maybe a friend who's never been on camera before. So I really like bringing my brothers out too because they're really good for that. And I love just being in groups with people because it's fun. How do I manage to bring so many great meals? No, just you pack them, or I'm confused with that question. If you're talking about the variety, I do research or I cook stuff that I've learned over the years or just ask people. What else do we got? You have a video with 21 million views. What do you think it was about that particular video that reached many views? Maybe it was the timing. It's the thumbnail I felt was really on point. It really sets a vibe to it. It says -20. It's me over the fire, kind of huddling for warmth. I think that really stands out to people. But why did it go viral? I have no idea. So I've seen some other people's videos that went viral, and it's interesting how the algorithm works. Yeah, because I don't think that video is much different than any of the other ones I make. Maybe it is. I don't know. You let me know, because it'd be nice to have more of those. Oh, okay. Here we go. Xander, go into the edit menu for the live video. He can turn on monetization and we can tip real life money. Real money? Wow, that sounds... Oh, man. I don't... Okay. I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, we won't worry about that. I appreciate it. I don't think it allows me to do that, but I appreciate that. That's a nice gesture. Thank you. Also, people have asked me about Patreon. I don't really know what I have extra to offer. I find that I don't know. You guys let me know how I can make a Patreon work if you're interested or whatever. I've had people ask me about that in the past. German outdoor YouTuber competed against. Would I be interested? Okay, sorry. German outdoor YouTubers competed against each other on different islands in Sweden. They were allowed 7 things to bring and had to complete challenges. Would you be interested in something like that? We're talking about 7 7 something. Yeah, that seemed really cool. Yeah, I'd be interested in something like that. Those challenges or those competitions. Yeah, definitely. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I got to push myself a little harder sometimes. So maybe. Have you camped up north like in Wisconsin? No, I haven't, but I'm open to it. I'm always looking for new places, especially beautiful new places that I can create content around. What is your favorite camping meal? I enjoy watching you eat chanterelles. Yeah, man, stuff like that's awesome. Nothing's better than a fresh walleye. Anything you catch yourself or collect yourself is always really nice. I'll admit some mushrooms are, iffy, but finding anything in the woods like that is just so satisfying. I love treasure hunting. It's such a rewarding thing. Your opinion on society becoming more outdoor, tiny home based. Do you think there should be a global change on housing? Whoa. It's a little bit above my pay grade. I don't know, man. I think there's always a place for cities. I think there's a lot of people in the world. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. I think everybody should experience being alone in the outdoors, living in different environments in different ways and see what's best for them. How do you think I would do on a survival show? It depends on the show. I think I could do all right. I don't know. I did a 3-day challenge, lost my ferro rod in 1 day, so I'm maybe not so good. I don't know. Were you a Boy Scout? No. What about up north Canada, like Nunavut? Oh man, that'd be so cool. I would love to do that. That sounds so cool. By any chance, are you going to go camping on any Asia places? There are a lot of beautiful places to discover. Oh man, that sounds incredible. It'd be amazing to do some Indonesian island or something and spend a week there just fishing and exploring the coral reefs and stuff. God, that'd sound amazing. I don't know how I would set that up. Maybe in the future, maybe. Send me in your application. Have you been up to Kiosk, Algonquin? Great launch point. Hey, that's good to know. I wish I had some way of writing all this stuff down. Have you camped in British Columbia? And if so, where was your favorite place to camp in BC? So I did car camping. We did trailer camping in BC when I was younger with my mom and my brothers. I forget a lot of those places. Kelowna and Banff is in Alberta. Oh God, I'm mixing all this up. Don't judge me. But yeah, I would love to go back. Done some hike throughs and stuff. Things like that. After Lure of the North and the adventure with Clay, what would you like to learn in your next experience? That's a good one. Yeah, man, more stuff about the land always. I want to learn about trees and foraging. Yeah, the mushroom thing is absolutely fascinating for me. And a lot of that stuff you can learn from books. Actually, a lot of things you can learn from books. The hunting thing is very appealing to me. I would love to do that in a way that's, I would love to learn more about doing it and also being able to share that with people open to that. I don't know how to approach that, and I don't know where that fits either. But procuring food and being able to be self-sufficient in the woods is super fascinating. Maybe homesteading. Huh. Do you ever think about getting into photography with a high-end camera? Yeah, well, so I was into photography before I got into videography, and now my videography just kind of takes that place. And I do use a nice camera for photography when I do take pictures. And I my thumbnails. I spend a lot of time making my thumbnails, and I find that's kind of my photography. I think the idea of wildlife photography is pretty appealing too, but then I'm bringing out like a huge lens that changes the game, but that sounds pretty cool. And that's also something that like, you know, maybe replaces hunting. But the hunting thing is something still I want to experience. So that's, you know, that's there. When you watch other campers and they do something amazing, do you ever be like, is that fake? I think the one thing that throws me off is when people, you know, they don't film themselves in the morning. Sometimes like a YouTuber will, you know, like a video will just end abruptly, you know, they go to bed and then they like kind of wake up and it's still dark, or it doesn't show them in the morning. And this is where I try to like I do my time lapses when I'm doing my survival things, because it's like I stayed out there, you know. Like I did it. Like that for me is like the proof that I want to show to people, because like it's, if that time lapse wasn't there, people might be like, well, you didn't really do that, you know, or you might not have done that. So that's one thing that like I want in other people, is like to have more of like a, okay, wow, like yeah, like you did that, you know, because there's sometimes that it's like, oh yeah, it's like, it was a great video, but like it was entertaining, but like did it really like conclude that way, you know? How do you find your camping spots while being sure the land doesn't belong to anyone? I use the Crown Land Use Policy Atlas. I just did talk about this earlier. Crown Land Use Policy Atlas here in Ontario, and I think that works for all Ontario provinces. I'm not sure how it works for public land in the USA. Or I use the iHunter app, and I use the I have a subscription to it. I really like it. That. What app do you use to make thumbnails? I use the Adobe Suite, Photoshop, and Premiere and stuff. I use all those things. So I use Photoshop. Oh no, Lightroom and Photoshop. But I don't do much. I just take a nice photo and maybe add like a little bit of title to it. Have you hiked any of the Appalachian Trail in the US? No, I haven't. That'd be amazing though. Absolutely would love to do that. Tanner, have you ever been recognized on the street? A few times, actually, recently too. I've been going to a climbing gym here in Toronto, and I've been recognized a few times there, which is really cool. I was recognized at a hunting shop up north earlier. I was getting like judo points for my bow, so I could just like practice with it in the woods. And some guys like, "Hey, I love your videos, by the way." And I thought that was really cool. I love being recognized. I love when people say hi and tell me that they love my videos. Such a wonderful feeling. And that's like, I show my videos to, you know, my friends and my family. And I love when I can watch them react to like the funny bits and the moments. Cause like, you know, when I post a video, like that turkey moment I posted in the last video, it was like, you know, I loved it, you know, and I thought I laughed when I was editing it and stuff, but like, I love to be able to share that. And like part of me like wants to see everybody's reaction to it. And I get the comments and they do stuff for me, but I love it when people in like real life, you know, laugh at it and I can like see their faces. Like the other day, my dad, I showed my dad it, like while he was in the room, like he was over, and I filmed him like watching it and like laughing at it. And like the other day, like I played it back and I just like made me smile watching it again on my phone. It was really satisfying. But yeah, no, I love meeting people in real life, and when they say that they watch the videos and stuff. I met another guy. He's like, dude, you're the reason why I went on my my first solo trip and tried winter camping, like because of your videos. I was like, oh, thank you. That makes me feel so good. Least favorite place you've camped? I think it was like that camping in fishing and camping in bug season from last year. It was just like bugs, terrible portage. The campsite was so mediocre. It was in fire ban, so I had to cook on a little thing. It was just a pretty poopy trip. So we'll wrap this up in a few minutes. This is kind of, you know, I guess winding down, but as much as I'm enjoying this, I don't want to bring people on too much or keep going for too long for some people, or for my, oh my God, rambling. What is number one on your bucket list? Something you've never done before? Kind of cliche. Man, skydiving would be fun, but what would I really want to do? The hunting thing, man. I really want to try that. I know like a lot of people like, don't hunt, Xander. But yeah, it's something I've always wanted to experience. And I think until I experience it, I can't really pass judgment on it. And I think it's, as like a meat eater, it'd be hypocritical of me to, pass judgment on hunting for food. I really want to experience that. Yeah, huge bucket list for me. And climbing mountains, man. Yeah, climbing some multi-day mountains would be cool. So many people do primitive camping. What's your thoughts on this, and would you ever consider doing such a thing? Depends what you mean by primitive camping. I'm not really sure. I think it's cool. I think I don't know as much. I watch somebody like Swedewoods, or people do like real bushcraft, and I'm like, that's really cool. I'm not quite that skilled. My bushcraft is like, I don't know, sharpening a point on the end of a stick and putting a hot dog on it. I think people give me more credit than I deserve. Do you think you'll ever have to hire a channel manager so you can do more trips? Also, Ben, are you going to hire an editor one? Also, are you going to hire an editor one day? Yeah, I think so. I would love to. Yes, I think that's just the natural step, I was talking with actually Dan Becker. I'm sure some of you guys know who Dan Becker is. He has a channel manager and he has an editor now. And we were talking about what that was like for him. And he's just like, now I can edit more video. Now I can film more videos. I can do three a week now. And he has a manager that helps him get like sponsored videos and all this stuff. And he can spend more time like creating content. And I think that, as I'm getting better at filming and stuff, I think it's going to be easier for me to pass on that responsibility of editing. So, because people are just going to I'm going to have it'll just be better. And yeah, as I get better at filming, somebody can take the content that I have, it'll be more put together and they'll be able to edit easier. Sometimes I feel like I need to edit it because it's just kind of like a lot and jumbled and all over the place, but I think I'm getting better at it. And at one point I need to delegate that. I know in order to be one of the steps to success is delegating tasks and having a team. So I would love that. Yes, absolutely considering it. Let me know if you guys know anyone. Let me see. We'll go for 10 more minutes. It's I'm having a lot of fun. I know this is, I said like an hour, but I'm really enjoying this. Would you go live camping by any chance? Yeah, it could be fun. Maybe if I have service. Have you ever? Well, but the problem is, you guys would see all this like goofing around I do. You'd see me behind the scenes, like scratching my butt, and Have you ever been to Blind River in Northern Ontario? No, I have not. I'd love to. Tips to get to your level in solo camping, starting from a beginner level. Oh man, just start. Yeah, just start. Just acquire some basic stuff. Now's a good time to go camping because it's not too hot out. You just get like a cheap sleeping bag, something that's warm. Use a tarp. You don't even have to use anything really. You can have a saw, a lighter, some cooking things from your kitchen. Throw it in a duffel bag. Haul it into the woods. Just try it. Just go. Just do it. And the thing is, with gear, just acquire gear over time. Yeah, start slow. Start with basics and just acquire the better gear as you go. Each trip you go on, maybe pick up something new. Do you have any tips for not getting lost for beginner hikers, campers? Yeah, man. If you have a phone, pre-cache Google Maps on your phone. That works really well. Yeah, it works really well. GPS still works on your phone when you don't have service. Yes, I believe so. I also have an InReach. Don't quote me on that whole GPS. The phone doesn't. Yeah. Anyways, what's your favorite animal? Honey badger. I don't know. Actually, you know what? What is it? The cuttlefish. Those octopus things that shoot out the harpoon and they can change color and they those things are so cool, man. What's the best place that I can get to by car from downtown Toronto? I don't know. I don't really. Oh, geez, that's like me giving away some spots. Go hike QE2. It's a great place, definitely. Yeah, go there. What does your mother say about your camping alone? My mom would be a nervous wreck. Yeah, she was nervous about it. She definitely nervous about it. She was nice enough to help me purchase my InReach back, 2 years ago, because she just wanted to know that I was safe. So, tell your mom like you're going, and she can help you buy an InReach, and that'll give her peace of mind. Do you know how to fish? Yes, I do. Not very well, but kind of. Ever scuba dive? Yeah, I have my scuba diving license. I was on student exchange in Singapore back in like 2011, and I did a trip to Malaysia, these islands called Tioman Islands, and I got my scuba diving license there while in a coral reef. It was absolutely spectacular, and I haven't been back since. Have you ever about doing a camping tour across a country, continent, or even the world? Oh man, hell yeah. I would love to do a van conversion and do like backcountry camping from it across, North America. I'd love to do the Unimog camper and travel the world on it, and then the sailboat. Like those are just pretty cool dreams, What is your biggest fear? Zombies. What grades of bouldering and routes do you climb? It's gym subjective. Some gyms, like my local gym, much harder grades than the one across town that I go to. I've climbed, years ago, maybe like V5 or V6, but that was probably at an easier gym. I don't know. Yeah, definitely at least V5 at one point. Right now like V3, maybe V4, just because I'm getting back into it. Do you think you do camping as a job more or just for fun? Wait, I lost that comment. Do you think you do camping as a job more or just for fun? Oh man, it's both. Like I do it as a job, but I also have a lot of fun doing it. And I'm so happy I get to get out every week to do it as a job and for fun. Like my job is fun. I love my job. I'm living my dream right now, and I could not be happier. I'm so grateful. How are you doing? I'm doing well. What kind of things do you do to stay safe from wildlife while out camping? So I talked about it earlier with wildlife. I don't feel particularly scared of wildlife, but when you are camping in the summer or certain seasons, I do carry bear spray. That's the big thing, I guess. I carry that. I also at night, I make sure all my smelly things, like the food that I have, like my cooking stuff, certain things that give off scent, I put that all in a bag and I hang it up in trees during seasons where bears are active. I do that as a precaution. I'm also a very good grappler, so if bears come around camp, I'll just spar with them if need be. Would you bring a sloth camping with you if you could? A sloth? Sure. Yeah, I'm sure sloths make great companions. Have fun thoughts like a movie or escape convict running from the FBI. How would you do it? Fun thought. Ever have fun thoughts like a movie or escape convict running from the FBI? How would you do it? I would just climb a tree and hide there forever. I'm confused. How did you first get into camping? Partly my older brother, partly we went to camp when I was a kid, I guess. Yeah, we went to camp near my cottage, and it was like an outdoor camp, and I guess they're all outdoor camps, but we spent some time doing like canoeing at the end of each season and like spent a night in the tent. My older brother was always into camping. My mom took me car camping and pop-up trailer camping all the time, and and I lost touch with it for years. And my older brother was always kind of into it, and he got me more back into it in more recent years, and then it kind of just took off. Do you carry a weapon as a secondary measure of safety? No, like a knife. I have a knife, with me, but that's about it. We enjoy your sense of humor. Can you say more about it? About my humor? No, I guess maybe like, I don't know. Yeah, I think I've been thinking about this like recently, and how do I say this? I think a lot of people are like afraid to be funny or like try things or like put themselves out there because of, you know, being like wrong or not funny or, you know, being rejected. I think rejection is quite a big fear. Actually, this book is great for that mindset, right? But like just having a growth mindset and being able to like, you know, try things and like throw yourself out there and see what sticks. You know, it will build up the confidence to be more funny and more humorous. Yeah, just put yourself out there, and often like, you know, you can just like go big, go like try hard, like go for it. You know, go for the big laugh, and you know, it's like if you fail, like I don't know, it's like at least you built up a little bit more confidence, perhaps. Also, like try improv. Improv is a pretty fun thing to do. A lot of people are scared of trying to improv. It seems really intimidating, but man, it's great. It's an amazing fun thing and a very open and welcoming environment that I would recommend to anybody. And actually thinking of it right now makes me want to go back to improv classes. I'm going to go back next week. Does all the woods have to be dead wood to catch fire the way it does for you in your camping? Yeah, like I mean, it has to be like all like punky wood will burn slower, but you have to have like a fire going. Like dead wood more or less has to. You know what? I am not going to talk. Like I don't quite know. I'm pretty sure all wood has to be bone dry to really burn. You can put like punky wood on the fire and it'll like smolder and stuff, but you're not going to get like flames. You can put punky wood on the fire and it'll leave coals for in the morning and stuff. But you're not going to get like a nice warm heat fire. Don't quote me on that. There's people that know that's way better than I do. I'm an amateur. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up soon. Man, I'm having a lot of fun. Oh, God. Okay, wait. Should I keep going? Or should I wrap it up? You guys let me know. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. We love you, Xander. Keep going. Okay. I love you guys too. Oh, my God. All right. Keep going. This is helping me do my homework. Oh, great. All right. Well, let's get you through your homework. How long will it take? And to my moderator brothers, if you guys are tired of this, you don't have to stick around because I'm only paying you for an hour and a half. So, you know, there's no overtime here. Well, I can't stay forever. Yeah, I know. You can take off if you want. Are you growing a mullet? I had a dirty mullet and it like was really bad. And then I got it like fixed up and it's like, okay. It was like pretty dirty. It was like really gross. I was wearing my hat the whole time and it was all disheveled. And then I had some nice lady fix it up for me. I'll go for a few more minutes. You have your work cut out for you for the next few hours. With all these questions, I suppose there's a lot of things that I missed and I apologize. Do you have to tie up your food in a bag over a tree or can you leave it in your car overnight? You can leave it in your car overnight, I'm sure. Yeah. You know, I know bears can get into cars. Don't quote me on that. It depends where you are. I know, like, if you leave food in your cars in places like Yosemite, bears will just rip your door off, you know? So, depends where you are. You know, the more public the places, the more popular the places, the more the wildlife is conditioned to be around humans and their food, and they know how to get at it. The best thing you've seen in the wild. Oh, man, that baby moose calf was just so cool. So cool. It was like, I looked it up afterwards, like when moose give birth to like their offspring, and it was that, you know, like it was that week. It was like, or like the week after I had seen it. So it was like fresh. Are there any other avenues for you to support you other than subbing and YouTube, like Patreon, to show our appreciation? Yeah. So I was kind of talking about the Patreon thing before, and I think I have a Patreon, but I haven't really like made that public. I just like don't have anything to, I don't want the extra things on my Patreon. I don't really have anything like extra to offer. Like extra videos or extra content. You know, I don't want to take away from like my main channel. So like if I do a Patreon, let me know if this works. But if I do a Patreon, like, can I just do it without any benefits? You know, I don't need the money, but if I know a lot of people want to support in an extra way. So yeah, I just don't know how I could add like perks to that. That's the only reason I've never done the Patreon thing. Any clothing recommendations? I really like the style of clothing you wear. I like Fall Raven. Actually, somebody was asking me about brands earlier. I like the Fall Raven pants. Value Village is great, man. They have wool stuff occasionally, which is nice. So you just got to pick around it and find some cool stuff. No. What are you most looking forward to in the future? Yeah, man, going on another big trip. Finally hunting and tracking down the Loch Ness Monster. Going to space. I'd love to go to space, man. Yeah, that'd be cool. Lots of people look up to you. Who do you look up to? Who do I look up to? That's putting me in. And people who have their life together, like, it's a good question. Man, a lot of rock climbers really inspire me. Like Tommy Caldwell, Alex Honnold's really cool. The guy's like got a beautiful brain. Jimmy Chin, man. Jimmy Chin. Yeah, that's who inspires me. I got his book over there. There and Back Again. Read it cover to cover. Super cool. Like, he's an adventure filmmaker, expert rock climber, National Geographic photographer. Jimmy Chin, man, he's got it all. He's like the only person. Well, some people make me jealous, but like his life is like, wow, like fucking fantastic. Like, it's so inspiring, man. How many cameras and what kind? I have like one camera I use exclusively, A7 III. I've already talked about that. I have a GoPro Hero 7, and I have like another point and shoot. I don't have it here, but yeah, but I only use one usually. How much time do you spend on getting camera shots from far away? Not long, man. Like, people think these walking away shots take forever, but they really don't. Like, if I'm hiking an hour, or like 2, and I maybe take like 5 to 10 shots. Each shot, I was like, now I'm much better at it because like I see the shot. Like, I'm walking through a place, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna shoot this from this place, and because it's got a nice view over here, and I'll walk through it like this. And my last shot was just my feet, so it'll like lead into this shot. And so I'm playing the game in my head of like the film that I want to create. And so like I set the camera up like way over here, or like even where I'm at, and like I walk past it, and say it looks like I walk way out into the, like way out there. It might only take, a minute and a half to 2 minutes of video footage. It's not that crazy. Like I've looked at some of my other video footages, like some of the really far things, like the longest that I walked away from the camera and back, like the footage was like 12 minutes long. That's like a real big one. Then I don't do that anymore. That's like, what am I trying to prove? I walked really far away from the camera. I guess that's exactly what I'm trying to prove. But yeah, usually they're pretty close. Like, it's not that far away from the camera. Like 1 to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes of filming footage. So it's not that crazy. Do you think you'll end up doing a collab with John again? Yeah, me and him are going on a camping trip next month around this time. So yeah, and I hope to go on one, like a big one with him in the summer. He's like my good buddy. I love that dude. This is a joke. He lives in Canada. I don't know. Would you go on Joe Rogan? I don't know why Joe Rogan would want me on his podcast. I'm not like, who am I? Who's Xander Budnick? YouTuber. He had Mr. Beast on, but Mr. Beast is like a legend. He's got big names on there. I don't know who I am. How do you overcome your addictions in life? Making myself accountable. I did seek help from other people outside myself. I couldn't do it myself. I did seek help in support groups and things like that. And I also now just make myself accountable to hundreds of thousands of people who know that I'm living a sober life. And admitting that you have an addiction and that you want to make changes. I like telling friends, telling your family that, you got a problem, going to the support groups, going to like groups and talking to people, going out in nature. Did you know Chicago White Sox pitcher Dylan Cease follows you? No. I don't know who that is, but hello. Thank you for the evening and all you do. Hope to meet y'all and maybe one day do a weekend. Yes, that'd be great. I think we're winding down, guys. I think my energy levels are depleted. This coffee here is tasting very bitter in my mouth. So I think that I'll answer like one more question. Any good ones? Give me a good one. Do I see trolls or fairies? Every time I close my eyes. Oh, here's a good one. You're young. Do you see yourself camping the same way in 10 years? So this is where, people like the content and they always ask me, my last 2 videos or whatever, the one where I did the group video and I did the hunting video, people are like, oh, do your old stuff. Oh, I miss like your old camping videos. I'm not going to tarp camp for the rest. Like I will tarp camp forever, but I'm not going to exclusively tarp camp for all the content in the future. I want to make sure that I'm creating, unique and fun content and being in unique and fun experiences for myself too. Because I want to be around forever. I want to do this forever, for as long as I can. So in order to do that, I think I need to create unique and interesting experiences. And yeah, it's going to change. It'll definitely change. Like there's no doubt about it. What does this YouTube channel and being a content creator mean to you? It means everything, man. It means like freedom to express myself. It means being able to share. It means, being self-employed. It means me being able to, live my passion, share, and yeah, it means happiness, man. Freedom means so much to me. It means like more than as much as you can imagine. It really means the world. And having everybody that supports me and who's interested in the content and who watches the content and enjoys the content, like it just means everything to me. It really does. It means the world to me. And I'm so happy. Okay, guys, I think that's it. How long do you spend editing? I spent, it depends, a day or 2 per video. I got back from my trip yesterday morning, did usually about a full day and a half per night. Anyways, I think that is it. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm feeling pretty beat. That was absolutely so much fun. I wish I had all the energy in the world to answer all your questions. I hope I got to as many as I was hoping to get to. I hope I got to a lot. Anyways, maybe I can answer some more in the comments or something. I don't know. But yeah, honestly, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you for all your support and everything. I really mean it. Like this channel and being able to do this is just absolutely everything to me. And having you guys is just, I don't even know how to express it. Just gratitude, just so grateful. So hope you guys enjoyed that one as much as I did. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Later.